Hi, welcome to my video on the 30, 60, 90 right triangles, part 3, problems number 1. And just a note, do the unit on square root radicals first to make the working in this video easier. And I have a triangle at the top, which is 30, 60, 90, and every 30, 60, 90 triangle, opposite to 30 is n, opposite to 90 is 2n, and opposite to 60 is n root 3. And find the exact perimeter of each triangle. All units are in centimeters. And perimeter means find all the sides and add them up. So, if we look at this triangle, opposite to 30 is 8, and opposite to this 30 is n. So that means n must be 8. So 2n must be 2 times 8, so 2n is 16. So this is 16 right here, 2n is 16, and this side right here, and this is a 30-degree angle, so this must be 60 because the 180 in the triangle. So opposite to 60 is n root 3, so n root 3 is 8 root 3. So this side is 8 root 3 because that's n root 3. And we have all the sides, so the perimeter is 8, add on 16, add on 8 root 3. And 8 and 16 is 24 plus 8 root 3. And we're dealing with centimeters, so the perimeter is in centimeters. So notice when you add these two, you can only add the integers, you can't add the radical. You can only add like terms, radicals to radicals and numbers, so integers to integers. B, and B, that's a 30-degree angle, so that's a 60-degree angle. And this side right here is opposite to 90, so opposite to 90 is 2n, so that means 2n must be 6 divided by 2. That means n must be 3. So if n is 3, that means that this side is right here, 3. And opposite to 60 is n root 3. So let's find n root 3. N is 3, so it's 3 root 3. So that means opposite 60 is 3 root 3. We found all the sides, so the perimeter is 3 root 3, add on 6, add on 3. Perimeter is go around and add all these up. So 3 root 3 is the only radical. You can't add anything to the 3 root 3, only a root 3. And that's a 9. So 3 root 3 plus 9, or you could have 9 plus 3 root 3. C, I have a 30, 60. That's a 60 there, adds up to 180. Notice that this side is opposite to 60. So opposite to 60 is n root 3. So n root 3 is equal to 5 root 3. And again, you can see, you can just cross these out because they're multiplication. So n is equal to 5. So n is 5. So n is opposite to 30. So this side is a 5. And this side right here is 2n. So 2n is 2 times 5, which is 10. So 2n is this side, hypotenuse, 2n, 5. So the perimeter of this triangle is 5 plus 10 plus 5 root 3. 5 plus 10 plus 5 root 3. 5 and 10 makes 15 plus 5 root 3, because you can't add the radical to the number. You can only, again, you can only add a root 3 to a root 3. And some extra practice. And the, oops, I forgot to put the units in. This is in centimeters because perimeter, the unit here in this section is centimeters. So the perimeter is centimeters. And we have another triangle. So we have 30, and that's a 60. And this side right here is opposite to 90. So opposite to 90 is 2n. So 2n is equal to 4 root 3. Divide by 2, n equals 2 root 3. 2 is cancelled. So n is 2 root 3, so n is opposite to 30, so that's 2 root 3. And this side right here is n root 3, so n root 3. So n is 2 root 3, and that's times root 3. So that gives you 2 times 1 is 2. And we get root 3 times root 3 is root 9, which is 3. So that gives me a 6. So this side is 6. And the perimeter of this triangle is 2 root 3. Add on 4 root 3. Add on 6. 2 root 3, 4 root 3, and 6. And we have 2 radicals, so 2 plus 4 is 6 root 3. Add on 6. And it's in feet, so the perimeter is 6 root 3 plus 6 feet. And number 2, notice when we just go back to this for a second, we're adding radicals. These 2 radicals are the same. That's similar to saying 2x plus 4x. 2x plus 4x is 6x. Okay, that's a 60, so that's a 30. So this side right here is opposite 60. Let's see, opposite 60 is n root 3. So n root 3 is equal to 7 root 15. Now we divide by root 3. They cancel, so n is equal to root 15 divided by root 3 is, you got 2 roots, you can divide, they're the same, so you get a root 5. So n is 7 root 5. N is opposite to 30. N is opposite to 30, so that's a 7 root 5. And this side right here is opposite to 90. This side is 2n. So 2n is 2 times 7 root 5, which is 14 root 5. You can only multiply the 2 by the 7, not by the root 5. So this is 14 root 5. And we get the perimeter of these, so we get a 7 root 15. Add on 14 root 5. Add on 7 root 5. And the root 15, there's only one of them, so that stays. And these are 2 root 5s, so add. 14 and 7 is 21 root 5. As I said, you review the square root radicals first. It'll help you in working out these. Because once you learn something in the earlier units, then that I repeat them again in the units that follow. And we have a 30, 60, 90 again. That's a 30, so that's a 60. Again, 180 degrees in a triangle. Opposite to 30 is n. Opposite to 90 is 2n. Opposite to 60 is n root 3. So I'm going to use that again to find the length of the sides to find it. Now the area of a triangle, the area is half the base times the height. And we have right triangles. So when we have right triangles with a right angle, you could take this to be the height and that to be the base. The legs of a right triangle are the base and the height automatically because they're perpendicular. That's the base, that's the height. In this one, you can say that's the base and that could be the height. It makes no difference which one you call base and height. There's a 30 and there's a 60. And the 12 is opposite to 90. So the 12 opposite to 90 to 2n is 12. Divide by 2. So n is 6. So opposite to 30 is n. So n is 6. And this side right here is opposite to 60 is n root 3. So n root 3 is 6 root 3 because n is 6. So this side is 6 root 3. So the area of the triangle is a half the base times the height. And the base is 6 root 3. And the height is 6. So we can take a half of this 6 or any 6, or we can multiply these two, whatever you want. You can go multiply these two first and then take a half. It's your choice. So I take a half of one of these. I can only multiply one of them. So I can take a half of this 6 or this 6. Let's take a half of this one. So 2 and 6 goes 3. So 3 times 6 root 3 times 3 is 18 root 3. And the units is in meters, so area is in square meters. B, we have a right triangle. That's a 60, 90, so this must be the 30. Now looking at the triangle, this side is opposite to 60. So opposite to 60 is n root 3. So n root 3 must be 2 root 6. Opposite 60, opposite 60. Perfect. And we divide by root 3. So n is equal to root 6 divided by root 3 is root 2. So n is opposite the 30. So 30 is right here. So this side is n. And this side is 2n because it's opposite. So 2n is 2 times n, 2 root 2. So 2 times 2 is 4, so that makes it 4 root 2. But I didn't need that, even though I did it. I didn't need it. Why? Because the area of a triangle is a half the base times the height. And the base is 2 root 6. And the height is 2 root 2. So even though I found this, I didn't need it, because I only needed the base and the height. So again, either one of these could be interchanged. So a half of 2 cancels. So I get, notice, I get 1 times 2 is 2. Root 6 times 2 is root 12. So let's go over here and work out the root of 12. 12 is square root of 4 times 3. The square root of 4 is 2. So that's a 2 root 3. So 12 simplifies to 2 root 3. And 2 times 2 is 4 root 3. And the area is in meters, so it's square meters. Find the exact area of each. And this time is in inches. Again, the area of a triangle is a half the base times the height. And in a right triangle, that could be the base and that could be the height. So I need the base. I don't need this side like I did here. I didn't need this. So let's see, I need this side. So 30 is 6 root 3. 30 is n. So n is 6 root 3. I need this one. So that's a 60, 30, 90. I need this side, which is opposite to 60. Opposite to 60 is n root 3. And so n is 6 root 3 times root 3. So that gives me 6 times root 3 times root 3 is root 9, which is 3. That gives me 18. So this side is 18. So the area is a half base times height. It's a half of 18 times 6 root 3. Half of 18, 2 into 18 goes 9. So 9 times 6 root 3, 6 nines are 54 root 3. Remember, the exact area, exact parameter. I have to leave it in the radical form. And that's inches, so that's inches squared. And we have a second one here to work on. Remember, pause the video and work these out if you wish, and see if you get the right answer. Notice we had the root of 75, but there's something about the root of 75. The root of 75, I see the root of 25 times 3. And the square root of 25 is 5, so that's a 5 root 3. So we can call this 5 root 3. Who says everything got to be simplified? You got to watch in math, make sure you know what you're doing. So this side is 5 root 3. This is the 30. Now, I need the base and the height. If you call that the height and call that the base, I need the two of these sides to get the area. So Opposite 30 is n. Opposite to 90 is 2n. So that means that 2n is equal to 5 root 3. So I divide by 2. So n is 5 over 2 root 3. So this is n. So this is 5 over 2 root 3. This side opposite 60 is n root 3. So that's n root 3. So I have a 5 over 2 root 3 times the root 3. So that's 5 over 2 times root 3 is 9. Square root of 9 is 3. So that gives me 15 over 2. And so this side is 15 over 2. So the area is a half the base times the height. So the base could be 15 over 2. That means the other side is 5 root 2, 5 over 2 root 3. Again, you could call this the base and that the height, or that could be the base and that could be the height. It makes no difference in a right triangle. And we can't cancel, so 2's can't cancel, so 15 times 5 is 75. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Root 3. And it's in inches, so it's square inches. And again, everything is, I vary the different, notice I got fractions in this one, because you can't keep doing everything with integers. Okay, let's do some more. And we have some more practice, but this time I deal with the circle. Let's see what happens, what we have here. Pause the video and work these out. And that's the best way to see if you know what you're doing. If you don't understand it, follow what I'm doing. We have a circle. O is the center of the circle, right there. AC is the diameter. AC is the diameter, and the diameter goes to the center. Chord going to the center. The circumference of the circle is 10 pi feet. Find the exact length of AF right here. And we got a 30-degree angle. We got a perpendicular line coming down here. So that's 30, that's the right angle. This angle must be 60. And again, think about it, we got a 30, 60, 90 right triangle. So if you think about it, you got a 30, and a 60, 90. That's n, that's 2n, that's n root 3. I write that down. When I start, this is what I write down, then I compare. But this is a little bit different because I said the circumference of the circle, circumference of C is 16 pi. So if I have the circumference, I need to get what one of the lengths are. So the circumference of a circle, circumference is 2 pi r. That means that 2 pi r equals 16 pi. Notice that the pi's cancel out and I divide by 2, or I can divide by 2 pi if I want on each side. The pi's cancel, the 2's cancel, so I get r equals 8. And it makes sense. 2 pi times what number gives you 16 pi, and the answer is 2 times 16, 8, because the pi's are there. Notice I have pi in the circumference. That means I don't worry about the decimal. So the radius is 8. So the radius OC is 8 and OA is 8. So we have a triangle in which this side is 8. So let's look at it. We need AF. AF is opposite to 60. Opposite to 60 is n root 3. So n root 3 is opposite to 60. That's what AF is. So n root 3. Okay, but we have gone before ourselves because we have 8 opposite to 90. So this 8 opposite to 90 is 2n. So that means 2n is equal to 8 divided by 2. N is 4. So that's a 4. And this side is n root 3. So AF is n root 3, which is 4 root 3. The exact length of AF. So again, I've added more to this problem because in math you always got to be thinking. Always thinking. And number 2, O is the center of the circle. AB is 4 root 3 centimeters. The measure of the angle AOB is 120. Find the exact area of the circle. So the area of a circle is pi r squared. The exact means I have to leave pi alone. I can't change it to a decimal. I write pi in my answer. So I need the radius. So this is the radius. OB and OA are radii. I got to get the length of one of those. So let's see. First of all, we got angle AOB is 120. Okay. And we got AB is 4 root 3. So what we know is that OA equals OB. And this angle, that means if these two sides are equal because they're radii of a circle, how do I get to the angles? I had 120. So what happens? Notice that these two triangles are congruent. This side equals this side, radii are equal. That side is equal to itself common. This angle right here is equal to this angle. This angle right here is equal to this one. So these two triangles are congruent by angle, angle, side, or it could be HL, hypotenuse, leg, but the triangles are congruent. If the triangles are congruent, these two angles are equal. That means that this angle right here must be equal to this one. So this angle AOD is AOB is 120. That means they're equal. So that means they must be 60 degrees each. 120, two of them are equal 60. That means this angle is 30 and this angle is 30. So we're back to the 30, 60, 90 triangle. And what happens if the triangles are equal? That means this segment here is equal to this one. So that means this is cut in half. So that's a 2 root 3 and that's a 2 root 3. Because the triangles are congruent, these two segments are equal. So a half of 4 over 3 is 2. Half of 4 root 3 is 2 root 3, 2 root 3. And in this triangle, again, watch. Make sure this is n, that's 2n, that's n root 3. So what is this side is 60 is opposite of this side. So 60 is n root 3. So n root 3 must be 2 root 3. The root 3's cancel, so n is 2. So that means this side, n is opposite to 30, so that means this side is 2. That means this side here is 2n, so that's a 4. So that all works out to be that OB equals 4 and AO equals 4. So the radius of the circle is 4. So the area is pi r squared. So it's pi times 4 squared. 4 times 4 is 16, so 16 pi. And the units are in centimeters, so it's centimeters squared. Again, working the math, notice how I work this around, and congruent triangles comes into play. It's a unit that I got to put together. I haven't done it yet, but I will put the unit on congruent triangles in. But I want to do the more algebra first before I get into the proofs. And if you like my video, click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the notification bell because more videos are coming. Visit my website, www.mathfullyexplained, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. That's the content that's going to be on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Bye-bye.